Good morning, everyone. This is Bill Henderson, Chief Investment Officer for Valley National Financial Advisors, giving you a brief update on the markets and where we stand today. So year to date, we're in a pretty good spot. The S&P is up about 10%. A typical 60-40 portfolio is up about 6%. So if you stayed in the markets and stayed invested, you're pretty happy year to date. I want to talk a little bit today about some things that I think we worry a little bit too much about. And let's start with inflation. So if you look at the 10-year average of inflation, it's been above 3%, 3.25% to be exact. That's above the Fed's supposed target of 2%. Yet during that time, the S&P is up nearly 250%, which tells me that the markets really don't care if inflation is a little bit above the Fed's target. And I think that's okay. Sometimes you want prices to go up. Sometimes you want wages to go up. When wages are rising, consumers are spending. And that's what we're seeing with the economy. The economy is still doing really, really well. We're growing earnings. Corporate earnings are up double digits and continue to be, especially when you look at the forward forecast of earnings. Employment remains solid. Unemployment is 4.2%, near record lows. Weekly jobless claims continue to come in under expectations, which means companies are hiring. They're not hiring at this amazing pace, but they continue to hire, which means people are working. And lastly, bank and corporate and consumer balance sheets are in solid shape, which means people are not overly concerned about things, which means they're going to continue to spend, and we're going to continue to see the market and the economy growing. Now, if you look back at the stock market, bear markets, which if you think about it, we had a 10% correction in April at the start of the Iran war. But bear markets are always preceded by a recession. And if you listen to what I just said, we are not in a position to have a recession anytime, I'd say, in the next 6 months. In fact, when you look at most economists, they have it at a 0 to 15% chance of a recession, which really means almost no chance in the next 6 months. I don't like to predict beyond 6 months because it's really tough to do. So I'd say stay the course, remain invested, and look at the fundamentals of the economy and look at the fundamentals of the consumer and the corporate earnings. Thank you and have a great day. Good morning.